In my personal devotion time, I've been reading the book of Daniel. I've been through about 6 chapters, and I've already realized one thing, that these 4 Hebrew children were not going to give in to what society wanted them to give in to, right? And it didn't matter what kind of pressure they pushed upon them. They say you can't pray here. You can't do that. You can't pray here. Daniel says, I'm going to pray to God just like I always pray to God, and it doesn't matter where I'm at, I'm going to do it, even if it means me being eaten by lions. Throw me in the pit, right? The 3 Hebrew children, he said, well, you've got to worship this way, and you can only do it this way. You can only do it at this time. And they say, well, throw us in a fire. We don't care, right? They didn't give in to the pressures of society. They didn't give in to the pressures of, you have to do it the way we said you're going to do it. And they didn't care, right? They wasn't afraid of losing their job. These were all high-ranking officials in the government at that time, and they would all just say, forget about it. They didn't care about losing their life, right? They was willing to go in the fiery furnace. They was willing to go to the lion's den to be eaten by lions, because they said, you know what, doing it the way God wants us to do it is a lot more important than us caving into the pressure that you're putting on us. And the reason I bring this up is because I think that in our modern society, us as Christians give in too easy to what our society says is the norms. You can't talk about God here, so we don't talk about God. You can't bring that to work with you. You can't take that to school with you. So we say, well, we can't do it. We can't do it because they say we can't do it. Why? You read and study the Bible all throughout Genesis through Revelations. There's men and women who are willing to die to do what God asked them to do. They wasn't going to conform. They wasn't going to change to what society wanted. They didn't care if they lost their job. They didn't care if they lost their homes. They didn't care if they were beaten. They didn't care if they died. They just cared that they were walking in the will of God. We need to get back to that in the modern church.